Welcome again to the 5 points, 5 questions, and your answers are right here. You have been diagnosed as a case of gestational diabetes mellitus, which means high sugars in the mid of your pregnancy. So question number 1, where does it lead to from here? What are the changes that I must bring in? What should I eat and what should I not eat? Well, there are too many questions tucked into one, but the principle is that you should eat the right amount of carbohydrates, because that is the one which releases a lot of sugar into your body and your body will not be able to handle it. That is what is the meaning of gestational diabetes mellitus. That means your pregnancy hormones are affecting the insulin in your own body and it cannot regulate or control your sugars. So be careful on the kind of carbohydrates that you would eat. Second question, should I skip breakfast? Should I shift over to rotis instead of rice? Well, the point number 2 or the answer is that check with your doctor and check with the dietitian. Tell them what you eat normally through the day. They will suggest manipulations in the meal. The essence is that you must eat frequently, you must eat small proportions, and as I said, you must avoid a large amount of carbohydrates and stick on to large quantities of proteins and fat, which will not raise your sugars and thereby maintain a better control. Question 3. What about the testing of the sugars? Should I do it daily? Should I do it many times in a day? Or is it okay if I do it once in 15 days? Well, for the first 2 weeks, the point 3 of the answer is that the doctor will ask you to do it through the week. If you have started with your sugar test with a glucometer at your own home, just have a finger prick and your sugar tested the first thing in the morning in the fasting state and make a note of it. The next day, you will check after breakfast. The third day, you will check after lunch. And the fourth day, you will check after dinner. And then on the 5th day, go back to the fasting level. So in a week's time, the doctor gets a fair idea of how you have been controlling your sugars, based on which they will ask you either to skip the test once in a while or continue with more rigor and visit the doctor to make the necessary changes. In essence, the targets as shown here is that 2 hours after a meal, the sugar should not exceed 120. It's okay to have the fasting in the range of 90 to 95, but not more. Fourth question, would any kind of workout be good for someone with high sugars in pregnancy, or is there a lot of rest that is needed? Well, this is a very interesting question, and the answer to question 4 is that you need adequate amount of exercises to burn your calories, to burn your fat, and after every meal, 10 minutes after breakfast, 10 minutes after lunch, and 10 minutes after dinner, we would encourage you to walk and also do some upper body exercises, yoga, and again, under the instructions of your doctor, be cautious about the amount of weight that you will gain. The more you exercise, the more your own insulin will get activated and the better control of the sugars you will have. The last question in this session is, I'm already taking so many medicines for the pregnancy. Will these sugar control medication not harm my baby? Well, high sugars will certainly harm your baby. But if you take the necessary precautions with diet, exercises, be stress-free, and also take the prescribed medication, ultimately everything with the aim of getting your sugars to the target that we have just mentioned. So pay attention to every small detail and wish you all the very best.